Hello, I'm just reaching out because I think many of you are wanting a tutorial on how to make a Google or a graph or a chart in Google Sheets. So what I'm going to do is, this is all based on the weight and solar system activity. So if I go to this assignment, the instructions, so weight and mass, remember weight and mass are not the same thing. So as you go through the Google Doc, what you're going to do is you're going to have to come up with your own information for your pounds. Then here's the equation to convert to newtons, and then convert because you have to figure out your initial mass in kilograms. Remember, your mass is the same, but your weight does not. So now we're going to look at the across the solar system. So we have Sun, the how many planets? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 planets, and then Moon. So this is the acceleration due to gravity on each of these objects. So then if we take our mass, so what do you know about mass? Your mass is the same. You take mass times acceleration due to gravity is going to get your weight in newtons. And then to convert to pounds, we can just divide by 4.45. So once you have that, this just shows you the different objects in the solar system, their own mass, and then their own radius. So what you're going to do is you're going to rank the objects by highest to lowest by your weight. So if your weight was the highest on, you're gonna rate the object by your weight. So whichever one was the highest weight, you're gonna put that was number 1, and then you're gonna put the one with the lowest weight as number 11. So making a graph. So if I go here, so here's an example. So I went ahead and took, this is actually someone's example. So obviously your numbers should be different. Your numbers will not be the same. So here are the objects we had, and so I listed them in order, or I listed the weight, our own weight that we calculated on each object, the radius of the object, and then the mass. So if we want to make a scatter plot of my weight versus radius, so what we're going to do is we're going to go up to Insert, Chart. So what we do is chart style. So first we can go to setup, I think. So there's different types. We could also try, if we wanted, by planet. Maybe a bar graph would look cool too. You might see how the different radiuses compare to like your weight. So you could do that as well. You could probably even, at this point, we could look at the x-axis being maybe this one. If I go back to this now, how do I edit? Edit chart. So if I click here, so if we want to add an x-axis, we can go ahead and select a data range. So we can select this range, say OK. So that can be our Jupiter. So our y-axis could be the radius. We could look at the radius. We could also add a series maybe. So we would say like we want to look at probably maybe the weight contribution. And we could probably delete, remove this. So this would be hold on. But I think the easiest one to do, maybe instead of a chart, doing a scatter plot. So scatter plot, so our data range is going to be And then our radius would be on the y-axis. So this would be radius versus weight. And then what we could do too is we could also graph the mass. So radius versus mass. You might want to scale these. It might be easier to put them on two separate charts. So I think it'd be easier to do this one. So radius versus, and then what we would do next is we would do mass versus. So this would then, like, now we can see a comparison of how the mass of the object relates to your weight. So most of them, what we could do is, like we see here, that there's one value that's kind of more farther out there, like the sun is way larger in mass, so maybe if we wanted to, instead we could graph just the ones that are closer, so we can kind of see like a trend or anything. So that's how you create a graph in Google Sheets. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I will talk to you soon.